don't need those.
And in the other one would be like,
protective styles 100% of the time you will never get anywhere. Your life will be a failure.
And I'm just like, yes, you read that right. I am 10 years natural, y'all. So I count the start date of my natural hair journey as being December 2012. So as recording this video, which is December 2022, I am officially 10 years natural. Okay, just to give a very quick outline for those of you that are new. Basically, I cut off most of my hair in December 2012, had a toile, then grew that to bra strap length in 3 years, so 2015, and then plateaued there at bra strap length for the next 4 to 5 years. However, during that time, I never gave up. And finally, in December of 2022, I reached my hair goal of a waist length, so year 8, and then for the last 2 years, have been greatly enjoying it while maintaining it here at hip length. Now that we're all caught up, I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 biggest lessons I learned forged through the fires of trials and tribulations of these past 10 years. No BS, no fluff, no drink water and exercise tips. So, if you're ready to get the most information-packed tip list you've ever seen in your whole life, then grab a notepad because, here we go. Lesson 1. Length is not genetics. Y'all, I had to brew a cup of tea for this one. A whole cup, brewed fresh. Y'all, that's right. We're starting off nice and controversial with this one. I'll say goodbye to those of you with weak minds who have likely already clicked off of the video by now. But it's okay, because those of you who are truly thirsty for the truth, who will do anything to reach your hair goals, those are the only people I'm making these videos for anyway, so I'm not even bothered. So, to those of y'all that are left, this point is extremely near and dear to me because it was exactly my unwavering decision not to subscribe to that kind of weak-minded self-sabotage that is what got me through a 4-year growth plateau. 4 years! That's 365 days. 4 times! Not 1, 4. And it's more like 4.5, 4 to 5 years of like stagnation. Can you imagine the kind of resolve that's necessary to get through that? So I think it's fair to say that I had plenty of opportunity to just subscribe to that extremely common narrative and just blame the stagnation on terminal length and just give up and throw in the towel. But listen, instead, I made the conscious decision every day not to. Instead, every day, I continued to search for the reason why my hair had stopped growing. And I continued to diligently take care of my hair every week, despite the succession of disappointing length check after length check, week after week, because yes, there was a time I was doing length checks every week. I was doing the most. We've all been there. Don't judge me. And I chose to seek knowledge instead of giving up. And that is the most important reason why, in the end, I did find the answer. And now I get to enjoy the hair of my dreams every day for the rest of my life. Lesson 2. Products don't grow hair. Routine does. So to anyone who still thinks that products grow your hair, please lay your weary soul to rest, knowing that you no longer need to scour the bounds of the internet and search for that one product that is just guaranteed to make your especially difficult hair that no one else on the planet has, that is just absolutely impossible to deal with, grow. I'm talking to you, 4Zs. I come to you as a friend who cares deeply about you and only wants the best for you. So please hear me when I say that product doesn't exist. It doesn't. I'm so sorry. The most important variable for length retention is your routine. Albeit it's a big variable, routine is a big word. It's not a simple thing like product, one-time thing. So I get it. It's a little intimidating. But products are just for fun, to make things simple and convenient. The only role that products need to play are to cleanse your scalp, get water into your hair, and to seal it there. So any products that you find that can do those things are good. Now, finding good quality products and using them to optimize your routine, that's a different story. But the fundamental point here is to know that you can grow long, healthy hair with any quality product of your choice. So don't let anyone bully you into thinking that you can't grow your hair without a certain product. That's a farce. Marketing, I tell you. Lesson 3. Protective styles are necessary to grow difficult hair types long. Just a disclaimer, the word difficult here does not harbor any negative connotation. Don't come for me, I'm gonna send you right back. I'm merely using it to refer to those at the extreme end of the hair typing spectrum. So mainly type 4s, although of course not everyone. Basically, if you feel like growing your hair out is particularly difficult, then this means you. I remember being very confused in the early years of my hair journey because the information that was being put out there about protective styles was very inconclusive. In one video, one natural would say, oh,
protective styles, you don't need those.
And in the other one would be like,
Protective styles, 100% of the time, you will never get anywhere. Your life will be a failure.
And I'm just like, which way is up, sis? On top of that, each time I'd see one of these videos, everyone had a different hair type, but none of them had a hair type that was exactly like mine. So I especially didn't know who to listen to, and it was just a mess. I mean, there are a plethora of them now, but back then in the early 2010s, I felt like I couldn't find my hair type anywhere. If they existed, they were few to none. So fortunately, with trial and error, I have learned that protective styles are very much necessary for some hair types. And unfortunately, my hair type is the type that falls into that category. So please feel free to use me as your reference if you have hair like mine or are struggling with length retention. Continuing on the topic of protective styles, lesson 4. Protective styles can be categorized in 2 types, primary and secondary. I think one of the reasons protective styling advice was always so contradictory back in the day is because there's never really been a very succinct definition. So I came up with this classification when I got past my growth plateau, simply for my own purpose, to make things easier to understand for myself. If you've watched this video here where I talk about that in depth for the first time, then you already know how this is gonna go down. But also, congrats to you for being a part of the early club. One of the cool kids. You have my gratitude. Basically, I classify primary protective styles are those that arrange the individual hair strands into an organized and stretched manner. So think twists, braids, flat twists, cornrows, etc. A secondary protective style would then be taking those twists, braids, etc. and further styling them in a way that protects the ends from all surfaces. So think your back, your clothes, the bus, your futon blanket, car seats, basically anything. These would basically be any rolled, tucked, pins, top knot, etc. style that keeps your ends from coming into contact with all external surfaces. I would even count covering with a silk or satin wrap as a secondary protective style because it protects the ends of your hair from outside surfaces. I don't have the time to really drive home how important this lesson is, y'all, but please take it to heart and thank me later. Lesson 5. Hello, this is just a quick announcement. Before the end of the video, be sure to go to the link down in the description box to check out my first ever ebook. If you're lucky enough to be watching this video on the day it launched, March 3rd, 2024, then you're in luck because you can take advantage of the pre-sale that's happening right now for only 24 hours. But if you watch this video later in the future, do not fret because at the same link, you can either sign up for the wait list for when the product fully launches, or it will be after the full product launch and you can go check everything out like normal. That's all for now. Now please enjoy the rest of the video. Daily remoisturizing isn't necessary with good technique. This lesson also took me several years to learn because the information that was available at the time I went natural was, once again, very inconclusive. To be fair, only a small handful of naturals really knew what they were doing, so I can't blame them. Anyways, when my hair was a trois and I was wearing it out every day, I was also remoisturizing it every day. When I started wearing my short hair in twists, I realized it didn't feel as dry every day, so I stopped remoisturizing it every day, and it still continued to grow. The point to realize here is with the proper style, aka protective styles, for those of you in the back with your fingers in your ears, I see you, protective styles, your hair is able to hold on to moisture for several days at a time. And I mean like up to a week and beyond. days at a time. The key to getting your hair to hold on to moisture for 7+ days is a good quality product paired with a protective style that keeps your ends as hidden as possible. As long as you're doing those two things, you'll never need to remoisturize your hair every single day. Oh, and please know that porosity has nothing to do with this. Whether you think you're high or low porosity, this still very much applies to you. Lesson 6. Aspiring for perfectly detangled hair is detrimental to length retention. Remember to keep in mind that these lessons are all from the perspective of someone with my hair type. So this is especially for people with type 4 and 4C hair. This was one of the very important lessons I had to learn in order to get my hair out of its growth plateau. I used to detangle my hair with a modified Denman brush every single wash day. But it turns out that the reality is, detangling my hair with that regularly was keeping my growth stunted. I think it's kind of hilarious the way we try to fight nature though. God really gave us 1,000,000 hair strands, all growing in different directions, each with an unlimited capacity to tangle around each other. Yet, we stubbornly attempt to literally unravel each of those 1,000,000 hair strands from one another on a weekly basis. Even though it takes like 3 hours. For the lucky ones. Oh my gosh. 6, 8. My sister, it used to take her 12 hours every wash day to detangle. What are we doing? It's wild. I mean, no shade. I too have been doing it for 10 years. I just think it's time that we admit to ourselves that maybe the reason it's so miserable is because this is not the way it was intended to be. And we just have to accept that to a certain degree, you know? You can only fight nature so hard. So I've come to realize that the best way to meet in the middle on this topic, between God's divine will and our own stubborn plans, is to detangle with a wide-tooth comb. I wouldn't recommend solely finger detangling, but my best suggestion would be to just combine the two methods. Use finger detangling to get out the really big knots, and then use a wide-tooth comb to smooth out your hair and just get all the hairs to lay in the same direction. This level of detangling is enough for a no-frills, merely length retention, health journey, grow your hair as long as you want routine. So don't stress. Just accept. Lesson 7. Don't let another person's amount of hair lost determine whether you have breakage or are losing too much hair. Learning this lesson was really important for me to be able to come to have confidence in my own hair routine. But it didn't come easily, because all the wash day videos I ever watched back in the day showed girls losing teeny weeny amounts of hair after a full wash day that they could fit between 2 fingers. Meanwhile, I'd be losing 5 to 10 times that amount. So for many years, I used to worry that I was losing an excessive amount of hair as breakage. Well, I can tell you now that that was not the case. And even now, I still lose large amounts of hair on wash day, like this. Although it may sound counterintuitive, the reason why I like to share how much hair I've lost at the end of some videos, despite me telling you not to worry about it, because I want people to see that losing a large amount of hair regularly can actually be normal too. So if you've always lost a large amount of hair on wash day and your hair is still growing, don't let it bother you. Lesson 8. Trims are not necessary for hair growth. In 10 years of taking care of my natural hair, I have finally debunked this pesky little myth. Early on, I knew that hair grew from the scalp and broke at the ends, but other than that, I didn't really understand the mechanics of length retention too well. Now, I know that hair breaks on the ends due to mechanical force, manipulation, or accrued damage, knots, split ends, etc. The problem is that because hair is not a living, self-renewing fiber like a cell, once damage has occurred, it cannot be fixed. Think of this damaged hair like glowing embers. They have the ability to spread, and the longer they stick around, the more potential they have to spread to neighboring hair fibers and pass on their destructive properties to their brethren and sisterin. Unfortunately, the only way to remove the damage and remedy the situation is to just cut it off before it spreads. So this is where trimming comes in, and that is its sole function. Be done! Lesson 9. No fad product or craze that pops up will be necessary to grow your hair. I've been a part of this community long enough to see dozens of fads come and go. I've lived to see people pouring onion juice on their hair, soaking their strands in a surely strong-smelling concoction of rice water that they fermented on their own countertops. Listen to girlies preach about how I meant to spend as much time as I do right side up, upside down, massaging my scalp for hair growth, because clearly God made a mistake in having me walk with my feet. There have been bananas and cloves and exotic products from remote lands, and I'm happy to be able to sit here and tell you that I have never tried even one. Y'all, people really do love fads, so I'm sure there will be more to come. But if all you want is booty length hair that's healthy, let me be the one to tell you that you can ignore all of that hype and you will be just fine. Just be sure to invest your time in what's actually important. Which brings me to my last point. Lesson 10. The way to grow your hair is minimal manipulation in conjunction with long-lasting moisture. Yep. This is it. This is as close to a magic formula as you gon' get. There's no secret. It turns out the advice you've already heard 1,000 times is the key. Who'd have thought? Well, I hope that this will be the time that you take it to heart and focus all of your energy on doing this single point to the best of your ability. I've shared in my previous videos exactly how I do this, so you're welcome to just copy my routine. But if you're determined to make your own, then my main points of advice would be: first, pick some staple products and a protective style combo that you like and can stick with. Then, reduce manipulation in your routine by using a wide tooth comb instead of a brush, and stretching your wash day as long as you can. Like, as long as human possible. I'm talking months, sis. Not days, not weeks, months. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4. As long as you can manage. I mean, we all gotta, you gotta decide this for yourself. This is gonna be this is not a one-size-fits-all routine. There are elements, variables you gonna have to figure out for yourself. But as long as possible. But honestly, if you're at your wit's end and you just want something to implement ASAP, I'd recommend just watching my hair routine videos and trying out my routine for yourself, and I hope it brings you quick success. So that is all I have for you guys for the 10 biggest lessons I learned on this decade-long hair journey. A decade, man. I've been alive for decades. Whew, the age. The age is setting in, y'all. Honestly, every lesson is packed deep with information that I truly believe is going to be helpful for you in the middle of your journey. So I hope that you really took them to heart, because this was much more than just a simple list of tips. If you guys have any questions or there are any other points that you'd like me to elaborate on in a separate video, just let me know in the comment section below and I would love to make that for you. If you found the video helpful in any way, don't forget to give it a like. And if you know any girlies who are new or struggling on their hair care journeys, be sure to share it with them, because sharing is caring. So if you like this video, be sure to watch this one next, because I'm sure you'll love it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Mata ne! Bye! Mwah! For those of you that watched all the way to the end of my video, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Now don't forget to go to the description box down below and check out the link that I mentioned earlier, and I'll see you in the next one.